How long have you been coaching for?
I've been coaching high school wrestling for 26 years.
In those 26 years, what would you say to the other coaches about your philosophy?
Yeah, so first of all, wrestling to me is the greatest sport on the planet. It teaches kids so many lifelong lessons, fighting through adversity, handling the ups and downs of life, being able to break out of a tough situation, never getting too high, never getting too low. It's also very good as far as discipline goes, where they're living a disciplined lifestyle. And so my coaching philosophy is I want kids to leave my program better young people than they were when they got there. And if I can do that, I've done my job as a coach. The wins and all that stuff, the accolades, the state qualifiers, the state championships, all that stuff to me is icing on the cake. So my focus is always on the total athlete as opposed to just the athletic part of the athlete. We want to make sure they're getting good grades, they're getting their diplomas, leaving here being great contributors to their society wherever they live, whether that's Fairbury or across the United States. We want them to be great dads, we want them to be great brothers, we want them to be great kids. And so I think my philosophy just kind of centers around making them better kids overall. And if we do that, we've done our job as coaches.
One last question. I did hear you say you have a new ref tonight.
Yeah.
What would you give him for advice?
Yeah, so first of all, we need younger officials in the state of Nebraska. We have a huge official shortage. And so the more new officials we can break into the fold, the better. Our official tonight's Mike Orff, and he has a long, extensive wrestling background. And that kind of goes back to your first question where, if we can send some of these young people who graduate that love the sport, they can go on to become officials. They don't necessarily have to be wrestling at the next level, but they can become officials, and so it's up to us coaches, and I'm guilty of it over the years, but we got to treat the officials well for them to want to continue to come back and do it. And I think if coaches across the nation, across the state of Nebraska are treating the officials the way they should be treated, then we're going to have more young people want to get into officiating. And so like one of my wrestlers, I am one of the biggest influences on them. If they see me harping on an official all the time, they're not going to want to become officials. And so there's got to be a respect with those officials, but the more young guys we can get into that profession, the better.
Thank you very much, Coach.
Yep.